I'm Shivani, this is the Curly Bookworm, and this is the Curly Bookworm's sister, and this is the cat that's trying to get away. This is Pallu, my sister.
My name is Falguni.
Okay. This is a good way to start because we're actually doing a video that essentially is going to map out two books that she likes that I don't like and books that I like that she does not like. So this is Sisters but Books at War.
Oh, whoops.
I'm going to start off talking about this book. This is Fault in Our Stars. I have talked about it and told you that this is one of my favorite YA books of all time. But the thing is, the funny part is that she gave me this book. She read it first and then she gave me this book. This book is about two teenagers who have cancer or have had cancer, and they meet at like one of these support groups, forums, and they fall in love, and then what happens when that happens and all of that. But I also like the film. Did you like the film? Did you watch the film?
I actually like the film better than the book. And in the book, I didn't really like the protagonist.
I really thought that the story was really strong and poignant. Having said that, I have read John Green's books after that, and I freaking hate pretty much everything that he's
I
written.
agree. I didn't like this book. I've read Paper Towns. I did not like that. So here's the funny thing. I didn't like the protagonist in the book. I liked Augustus's best friend, the one who loses his eyesight very early on in the book. I liked him. I liked the other characters more than I liked the main characters in the book.
I really like Hazel's parents in the films too. I'm not sure how I felt about them when I read the book, but I remember like when I was watching the film, I particularly liked her parents.
Yeah, they were pretty cool.
And they were
They
cast
well,
really
yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay, let's talk about a book that you read that I didn't quite get into.
This is a book that was gifted to me by my best friend Divya. Devu, if you're watching this. Thanks, I love this book. I moved to Bombay 2 years ago with this book, and I hadn't read this at the time. I got it as a farewell goodbye present from my best friend with like a lovely little note on the inside. It's written by the same guy who wrote One Day, the book, and which was also made into the movie with Anne Hathaway in it. I haven't read the book, but I've watched the movie. It was hella depressing.
But so good!
No, it was depressing.
But so good!
I disagree. Like, I haven't read the book. I'm sure it probably is a lot better than the movie.
Now you can see why I decided to go with this video. First, we disagree a lot.
This book, it's the first book that I've read by this author. It's a book about a family of three. The father in the family is a scientist, the mother is an artist, and they have one son. And it's about how dysfunctional their family is, how two people who are completely different come together and sort of their lives change. It's basically about their journey as a family, and also sort of like it goes into the past and present, like it kind of transitions between both. Which is something that I thought that I would really enjoy. And I really like that whole past, present, the sort of historical fiction element. But with this book, I felt like the narrative just kept stopping me. I don't know, like it was not easy to read, but it could just be that I read it at a time that I wasn't in the mood for it. Did you find the writing easy to read? I found it really easy to read. I also found the story very interesting in the sense that I could relate to both characters. Even though they're such different people and the way they think is so different from each other. And I love how he's given both their perspectives, because you're not necessarily siding with only one character. You have a bigger picture to see in terms of like why things go wrong with this family or why certain characters aren't getting along. So I thought that was really good. It was a very good read.
Next book. This is a book that our dad was reading, and then I actually took it and then started reading from him. I really enjoyed it. I read it a long time ago, but I really enjoyed it. I just discovered that she read it and she didn't like it. Aragon is about this little boy who's really poor and he's in a village. It's a fantasy book, by the way. And what happens is that he kind of like one day goes to the jungle to hunt or something, and then he finds like this blue stone, and then he finally discovers that it's a dragon, and it's the relationship between the dragon and him, and a whole bunch of adventures thereafter. Do you even like fantasy? I really like fantasy, which is why I really like this book. But is fantasy your thing at all?
So, in terms of how much fantasy I've read, so I've only I started reading Harry Potter. That was my entry into the kind of books that I read. But I read Aragon soon after. I think maybe I read Harry Potter, and for me, I think I was expecting something else, and I didn't quite. Maybe I was comparing it too much to Harry Potter in the way that was written. And I did read a fair amount of the book. I would say it's not like I read 20 pages and I was like, okay, I'm done with this book. I felt like I read maybe about 150 pages, and I couldn't picture it in my head when I was reading it. So for me, that's usually when I get disinterested and
So
I don't
you
want to.
DNF'd it.
Yes.
I DNF'd all the other books that she's going to be talking about. Haha.
It's not a competition. So this is an author that I really love. And a book that I really love, but the cover is not the one that I wanted to show you. I have another cover which she will insert, somewhere there in my face. I'm gonna send her
on her face.
Yeah,
literally.
Yeah. She's gonna. It's the color of my tops. It's Breakfast of Champions. It's by Vonnegut, one of my favorite authors of all time. I really like this book because it has two titles to start off with, and that's why Vonnegut's really funny. So when you open up the book, it says Breakfast of Champions or Goodbye Blue Monday. He writes a lot of satire. He's really funny. His humor is biting. It's funny. If you haven't read Vonnegut at all, I would start with this book because I started with this book. It's a really great book. He draws as well, and he has these little drawings within the book. I mean, mostly in this book, not in all of his books, but it's really, really
What do you like about his writing, though? I found it, again, really hard. Maybe my sister's just a smarter reader than I am.
No, I don't think that's true.
I don't know, it seems like
it's
really different.
For example, he's like, what is the purpose of life?
That sounds like something that I would like to read, and every time, I've tried reading it at least a couple of times, and every time, not a couple of times, at least 4 or 5 times, and every time I've started reading it, I've just felt like I can't go on. It just feels like a weird narrative that...
I know, but you've read Murakami, so this shouldn't be very difficult for you to read. In fact, Murakami is even weirder. I read Kafka on the Shore, which I was expecting to love, but I didn't quite love it. But just look at this, for example. The top says, what is the purpose of life? And then it says, to be the eyes and ears and conscience of the creator of the universe, you fool. He's so funny.
This is how she convinced me to read it. And then
look at that. That's supposed to be a butthole, according to him. It's hilarious. And now, when I'm giving somebody a greeting card or something funny, I'd draw a little what they think is a snowflake, but it's actually tiny little buttholes. So that's why I love her.
She's a gift that never stops giving, my sister.
Just look at this. It says, make love, not war. The stories are weird. I've read a lot of his books. I'm not done. I have a list that I'm getting through. But this, Slapstick, is another book that I really like by him. The alternate title for that is Lonesome No More. Slapstick or Lonesome No More. You can see why I like him.
Can we find a book that we both like?
Yeah, we can.
This is a book that she recommended to me as well, and then she made me buy it.
Okay, I told her about this book. This is a book that we both really like. I love the book cover for this as well. I think it's really nice. The back of the book, I'm not giving anything away, but it just says this is a book about a brother and sister. It's a book about childhood and growing up, friendships and family, triumph and tragedy, and everything in between. More than anything, it's a book about love in all its forms. I think that's a really nice way of putting it across, right? Don't you think so? And it's exactly what it says at the back. It's nothing more, nothing less. It's about a family, and it's a really beautiful book. Just everything. I love the way the story was told. This is also set in England. I really like the tone of the author in the book. She writes really well.
It was really intelligent, the book, and I feel like it reminded me of Kill a Mockingbird, not the story itself, but something about the tone of the story. I'm not really sure what it was. Cool, so that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it's kind of long, but...
Sorry, I keep looking at myself. this is very weird. I haven't done this before, so I keep forgetting to look at the camera. She's saying, look at the camera, look at the camera, look there. So, sorry if that's annoying for a lot of you.
She's gonna come back in another video, by the way. We're doing a video on curly hair. I mean, surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
But come back, subscribe to this channel, and then do the actual liking of the channel. And I will see you guys soon. And spread the word, because like if you have a sister and you disagree with her, this is the perfect video to be watching together. Okay, bye.
Bye.